Cambia ese micrófono, úsalo.
No funciona con este programa, el Soundpad. Por eso es que estoy usando esto. Sí, pero si tú ves los otros streams que yo he grabado, this one sounds good in comparison. Solo no. Okay, ahora it works.
That's good.
Ya, dame verlo allá.
This is the YouTube version. Esto no es el programa. It's private. Only we can see it.
Yeah,
Pero this is from YouTube.
Okay,
So it should work.
Yo monitoreo allá. En el momento que yo venga, un momentito y abro la puerta.
Yeah. Pero this is from YouTube. So it should work. Thank you, bro. So, switch to starting soon. Alright, so let's try that again. Just me on my PC because phone keyboard bad. There. Does the audio sound any better? Because we did a little bit of changing. That's gonna double feed into the microphone, dude. Sorry! But at least we know it sounds better. Okay, let me pop out the live chat again. No more mag lag. Yeah, no more
mic lag.
Hey, the mic is
mag
good.
like.
Very good, thank you.
Mag like the video.
Mag like the video. Smash the mag like. Alright. So, we're going to cover our faces with the chat so we don't get distracted. Alright, the mic doesn't sound like it's presenting in class. Yay!
Yay! Awesome!
Alright, so just recapping so that the other footage is lost now, gone. I really did enjoy doing the live stream with you guys back in the past. Now we have Caleb here, so we got two people to say opinions or something, and we're going to do like two different things in this live stream. The first thing, we're going to talk about our stories on how we got into Airsoft and why. Then after that, we can just do a little Q&A and kind of just talk with you guys and see what is going on, and you guys can ask any questions that you want to hear answered, and you'll get an answer at the moment. So let's start. So basically, let's start. I'm gonna start with my my experience first with Airsoft, since chronologically it comes first. Mine goes back to 8th grade, and that was, how many years ago would that make it now? Like 5 years ago?
No, I can't do math.
I don't know. Point is, it was a while ago, and I actually went to play Airsoft with my history teacher, which is a really weird experience, but he was the sickest teacher of all time. I absolutely loved his class, and I loved his energy, and he played Airsoft, so when we had the interest, he said that he would chaperone us and help us go. So we played one game.
In other words, This teacher was so fed up with these kids, he wanted to shoot them up.
Yeah, the funny part is when we got there, literally one of my buddies, we were his homeroom. One of my buddies shot him square in the forehead. Turning a corner, he just shot him in the forehead, and all of us were like, "Oh, you gonna fail the class? He's gonna flunk you." Thomas Woodworth, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Doritos or Cheetos? Neither. I actually hate all cheese puff type. They're like cheese nacho anything. I don't like it.
Doritos for life.
All right, yeah, I'm weird when it comes to that. History class pretty pog. Yeah, history class is great. I just want to be fab. Hey guys, hey everybody. I just want to be fab is actually Jolly from my HK416 video. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Hi, Jolly. So again, he shot him square in the face, but he was like super champ. Nothing happened. Like I'm pretty sure he actually got him in the cheek, but he had like a little blister on his cheek, and it was hilarious. But like after that, I wasn't able to play again because like the Springer sucked. I just kind of sold mine ahead. I didn't have money to get a good replica. And a while back, a couple months ago, close to the time where I started this channel, I was trying to save up some money to get a rifle. And I had my eyes on the Lancer Tactical. And before I could do that, Caleb and another friend of mine, which is called Joshua, we call him Josh, super cool guy, we call him Bubble.
Bubbles!
He's from my church, and they, like, super cool, they both split the price of the rifle in order to help me get into the sport. And I was super excited. And once I got into it, Caleb and a ton of other friends decided to join too. I'm like, whoa! I didn't expect people to actually play with me. I was like, I guess I'll just shoot targets in my backyard, that's fine. But no, like we actually started, that was the start of the Damascus Airsoft team right now. So that's kind of a quick recap of like my end of the story. Then we can talk about Caleb's. Let's just check the chat real quick. We're back. Hey guys, yes we are. What is up everybody? Jersey Mike's or Subway? We don't have Jersey Mike's. Actually, I'm assuming that's another sub place. Never tried it, but Subway is great. I love the Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, the Philly cheesesteak and macadamia cookies for life.
Macadamia cookies
Yeah,
forever.
Subway is great. AR or SMG? AR. SMGs have their use, like SMG in Call of Duty, AR in Airsoft, because honestly, for the difference, I feel like an AR shoots just as well as an SMG, and I feel like it has better range. So I would go more for an AR. I don't know.
Yeah, like between the two, I think I would prefer more the AR because of the versatility. Like it's got the range, it's got the FPS, it's got everything you would want. An SMG, sure, it'll probably be lighter. It'll be more for CQB, taking those corners a lot more comfortably. But still, I think there's you could still compensate either way with the AR if you just kind of like shorten the stock.
Yeah,
barrel.
honestly, like in my case, mine is the EMG, which is the one that's right behind us. It's already a short platform per se, so it's not that big of an issue. But that extra length, my rifle is shooting right now about 289 feet max range, which is crazy, and I wouldn't be able to get that with an SMG, like an ARP9 or something, unless I had like wicked over like the limit FPS, which is not the idea. I'm super pro adding like rules and limits to FPS and joules.
Yeah.
So I rather an AR, but that's just me. Both of them are great, and I want both of them eventually. I remember playing Airsoft against an ex-Marine, which was a dad of my friend.
Ooh.
He took off his helmet as I shot at his forehead.
Ouch. Friendly reminder, you don't need tons of experience to like go ahead and be, oh, you know what, I got this, I'm fine, let me take a no, just safety's for everybody, no matter what your age, your experience. Everybody's got to be completely safe, whether, especially with eye protection and ear protection. He had a nasty hit the other day.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. I'll explain. Anybody that saw my last gameplay, I put it up on the text. I kind of glossed over it, but I'll get into detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happened to one of my teammates, Luis. You guys have seen him in some of my videos. He like peeked the corner, and I shot him from like 5 feet away with my rifle. We don't have minimum engagement distance, but still, I would not have shot him in the face if like I didn't have any other option. It was just like a knee jerk. and all he peeked out was like his forehead. So I shot him straight in the forehead, and he had a blister for like such a long time, and I felt so bad. And then right after, he bought a helmet. So yeah, someone must be on something to dislike a Damascus Airsoft video, not gonna lie. Honestly, people like have their own opinions. I'm the type of person, like, if I don't like a video, I just click off. Like, I don't dislike a video. I feel like, why go out of your way? But, you know, there's people and there's people.
Bounty Hunter says hi. Hi, Bounty Hunters.
Hello, wait. Arca... Oh, wait, is that you, Chang? Like, is Arc of Destruction Chang? Oh,
Maybe.
I want to know. Hi. Bounty Hunters, super great team. A1.
Yes.
My cats appreciate the stream.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate their cat's appreciation towards my stream. It makes me whole in my heart. Hello, mystery man. My dog is sleeping on her back. Yes, it is Chang. Saw it. We fixed it. It was a technical difficulty. Like, literally, my audio was all choppy and stuff. I showed my friend just as he took off his mask to scratch his nose and missed his eye by 5 centimeters. I did not see that he took it off. That is super important as to why people should not take off their mask during a game. Now, I feel like everybody's guilty of this to a certain extent. Like, your goggles fog up and you kind of wipe them real quick. But if you're going to do that, go to a corner, back towards everything, literally like smallest sliver as you can. Don't take any chances.
Or just walk out. Go to your safe zone.
Like, if it's
Safe
too bad
zone is
and
the
it
best
keeps
option.
happening or something, like if it's a quick wipe, again, face to the ground in a corner, completely safe, tell someone to cover your back or something.
Yeah.
But if it keeps happening, literally just leave, because you don't want to risk losing an eye for that.
Yeah, and not only that, like, sometimes people will make that recommendation. It's like, oh, you gotta hide in a corner, but people forget sometimes, depending on the opponent, like, if they're not careful enough, if they aren't seeing what you're doing, you might get a ricochet in there, and that will still do some damage.
Yeah,
so
not that much. I don't feel like it's going to just go straight through your eye, but it would still hurt like hell. Mystery man, please say what you must. When the imposter be looking sus, though. Alright. Dad says don't scratch and play. That's a very good tip.
Yep.
A lot of people literally, just because it itches, they would take off something and immediately get whacked. So that is an actual good tip. Yeah, he was a rookie. I did not know at the time. We only played 1v1s. That's how we started too. But again, that's kind of one of the first things you have to, like, completely get set down.
At least they were semi-safe about it. Like,
Hey, Johnny Venko. Saluda parte de los
Johnny!
Johnny! Johnny! Yeah, actually, Johnny Benko is the captain of Bounty Hunters, and he, like, actually gave that pistol to Caleb as a gift.
Boba
like,
Fett edition.
He painted it himself, so, like, dude, A1 mad skills.
Yes, thank you so
Blind
much.
man rule. Yo, blind man, if I catch someone doing it. Yes, everybody kind of has, like, a different keyword, but one very popular one is blind man. If somebody takes off their mask, especially kids do it a lot, yell blind man, cover them up, put their mask back on or something. Escort them out. Let people know so they don't keep shooting to try and avoid situations.
So my friend sprayed my face from like 15 feet. He had an AR and I had a Springer. Oh man, I got huge sexy lips after that. Well, it be like that sometimes, bro. Ouch.
Oh, dude, that sounds really bad, Thomas. Like, everybody's been sprayed at some point. I got crossed like left to right. It was terrible. He said the funny. You ask and I deliver. That's literally what this channel is all about. I just started playing Airsoft 2 years ago and I feel like I've seen it all. I just started playing Airsoft a couple months ago and I feel like I've seen it all.
I feel like I'm still discovering, like, everything about it.
I got shot in the butt like 3 days ago when I went airsofting. It happens. Yeah, honestly, whenever I want to tease someone, I just shoot them in the butt cheek.
Nah, man, I just hate it when they get your thighs or like right on your
like,
side. It's
inner
like,
thighs, inner thighs, your sides, and your hips are just like terrible. A mile away from where we play, we found a cool cave and a small paintball field. Cave airsoft sounds sick, but it sounds like the most dangerous thing you could do, aside from like airsoft on skates.
Hey.
That's, yeah, it
I
is.
still want to do that one day.
No, it's bad.
It will be bad.
Master YT, what's up? Please say the whole thing. Look, man, I know you're referencing something, but I do not know what you're referencing. So, send it through a Discord, and maybe at some point I'll be able to reference it in the future. Grace Miles, my sister's here. Hello. Hi. My eldest sister. I have 2 older sisters. The middle one, the older one. She's in NASA. A newer player fell out on me in my genital region in a building. That person was on my team.
Oh, friendly fire to the max.
Dude, like, I mean, crotch shot, that sucks. But, like, I got crossed by the AA-12 by Naru. You guys know who he is. I got crossed the entire way through because a sling got stuck on his Viper hood. And he was like, oh, my bad. I'm like, what do you mean, my bad? I feel like I just ate a whole bowl of, like, Lucky Charms BBs. Sky Guy 360. That sounds like such an Xbox 360 game like name. Do you have any tips for Airsoft CQB? Well, I'm not really mostly in CQB. I'm more mid-range, but I have played a lot of CQB. I'm usually close to mid. Tips that I would say is don't fully lower your rifle if you're inside of a building, because the amount of time, like the reflex reaction, you won't have time if somebody else is already aiming up. Another thing is don't be constantly aiming down the sights if you're in the building. Kind of cant them to the side, because at that point the cant doesn't matter with the hop up since you're so close. Get a full field of vision and a full feel. And also, don't peek a room with your rifle down or with your rifle sticking into the room first. Take a couple steps back and have the barrel behind the wall so that they don't see you as you start like peeking those corners.
Yeah, I've been a victim of that. Seriously, like at first because I normally do play CQB, and for me it's a lot of fun because it's very risky and high reward. But like what's really awful about it is that when you're still starting out and you're still getting used to like the feel of your rifle or gun or whatever. In my case, it's a shotgun.
And the pistols now.
And the pistols, yes, the pistols. But the shotgun is what I started out with, and I remember one time we were playing at a school where the hallways are really long with like dual doors for each and every single classroom, and we would like come in and out, in and out, in and out through the hallways. And I still remember the one time where you got me because I was sticking out the entire shotgun, like even the pump action right in front of me.
It's something that people don't really think about.
As I was taking the corner, and like I was already getting shot on my hand, on my arm, and I'm like,
Yeah, I like that's one of my problems. Like I have a very like sensitive trigger finger, and like when I see the first inkling, I just start like absolutely raining hell, and it's led to a couple sad
and it's
situations.
Completely understandable, but also
no,
like
yeah, it's something that
you don't
happens.
want to head like that tunnel vision while you're trying to get out of those corners, because
usually I hard scope a lot more on longer distances. When you're closer, you can kind of get away with hip fires. Let me see.
Ooh, one more thing. Like, even though it's a stupid detail, but something to keep in mind is your breath and your footsteps. Like, Airsoft is a very physically intensive like activity. Like, if you're not careful, like if you're playing in CQB environments, a lot of the times your breath can give you away. Like people can hear you 100%. Heavy breathing, panting.
Unless there's a lot of commotion, breathing is one of the hardest things, because when you're exhausted, your body does not care. Like you're going to one, and you need a lot of self-control for that.
And depending on the environment, you know, maybe you're playing on concrete, or maybe you're playing outside in the wild and you have those like really crunchy dry leaves. Like you want to be very attentive of how you're stepping into an area, and also you don't want to slip on BBs. You never know.
100%. That's why good footwear is very important.
Yes.
Hi, I'm a super new player, and can you tell me what gun is good for a beginner? So Miles, a good gun for a beginner, I've always said the same, and some people, mostly elitists, like disagree, but I would say it's a Lancer Tactical, a SEMA, or a G&G combat machine. Those are usually my top picks, and a lot of people are like, oh, those are garbage, but they're comparing them with like $380 Crytax and Ronin like T10s or something. There's no comparison there. You're getting a full kit for $160 versus a single rifle for like $300 and $400.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but I want you to understand most of my gameplays have been with my Lancer. My like 30+ kill gameplay that's on my channel, it was with the Lancer Tactical, and I was up against people with HPA system, with Crytax, with VFCs, and really, honestly, it's more about how you play than what you have. Obviously, you're not going to have as much range, so you're going to have to get a little bit closer. You're not going to have as much like trigger response, so you're going to have to really make sure that your shots are going in. You can't really just spray and pray. but still, it kind of puts in a good discipline. So I would
Yeah.
say a Lantern Tactical, considering that it's what I've tried, I can't really vouch as much for the other ones. I just know what I've heard. But the Lantern Tactical LT19B is the one that I have. Great gun to start with.
Yeah, and it all depends on what kind of gun you're comfortable with. Because in my case, like, people have lent me rifles just to try them out, see, because everybody sees me with a shotgun on the field, and they're like, does that thing really reach that far? Will it actually get me? He has to get in close. We have no problem dealing with him. And I've been able to surprise a few people with the range that
it
my
gets farther.
shotgun
It
has.
gets farther than you might think.
Yeah.
It's not as far as an M4, but it's still pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Considering that it's just spring.
And in my case, yeah, like, it's a spring. He has an AEG. Other people have gas, HPA, like you mentioned. And, you know, it's all about how you feel comfortable with that rifle or gun. Hey, you never know. Maybe
Yeah.
you feel more comfortable mating a pistol. Some people do. And that's all depending on your style. If you want to be really fast-paced and sneaky, maybe something that's lighter on your hands and more mobile for you, a pistol, or an SMG that's pretty small, like, you could go do whatever you want. And if you are more of a, like, lay low, kind of campy, all the way in the back, trying to support your team, and maybe a sniper will be
Yeah,
your
you
game.
need something longer for that. Maybe a sniper, a DMR. But you won't be able to run a pistol from, like, the sidelines.
Yeah.
So,
But if you're a truly, like, new beginner greenhorn type of player, I think maybe trying out a standard rifle just to see if you're comfortable with it.
I feel like an M4 is the safest bet. If not an AK, but I still think an M4 is a safer bet for a beginner. But again, if it's something that you're not interested at all, then don't do it.
Yeah.
But I do, like, think about it very well, because some people want, like, to be a sniper, but maybe it's not the most convenient, and you don't know if that's your playstyle yet. An M4 is kind of a middle of the road, and then you can work your way from there.
Yeah.
So, Master YT, are ukuleles better or guitars?
Both.
You're asking a guitarist this question, but I do have to say both of them are amazing instruments, but I obviously think that a guitar is a better instrument overall, considering that it has a lot more versatility and a lot more range in notes. But I've seen both played absolutely amazing and absolutely terribly, so it depends more on who's playing it rather than what instrument it is.
Yes. Benny's Cool 1212. I also hate getting shot in the neck. I actually have a story about this. One time, Gabriel, he was talking with another player on the field, and they were trying out his rifle, but the sighting was
he had a Vector, a Crytek Vector. And
which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a really good rifle, but the thing is, his sight was all kinds of messed up and warped.
Yeah, it was bad. And at one point, like, I had my helmet on I used to have a fast helmet with the Damascus sticker right on the back of my head, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna be standing right over there, or maybe like 20-30 feet or something.
No, it was more. You were like 50 feet away.
Yeah, 50 feet. Okay, yeah, sure. Felt closer. Anyway, anyway, he came over and he started aiming at me. And I'm like, okay, like, shoot the target. I want to see where it goes. And he ended up missing, and instead of hitting up top where my helmet was, he hit me right at the base of my neck.
I don't know if it was more so the sight or the mix of the sight and the hop up, because some people just don't adjust their hop ups. But literally, it just went right under, and it slipped right between his shirt and his helmet, and literally just threaded the needle into his neck.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It stung.
I don't think I've been shot in the neck yet. I'm not sure if I have. It hasn't been bad enough for me to
Although
remember.
I don't think that's worse than the ear shot. That
No,
must have
the
been
ear shot was
terrible.
terrible. It was absolutely horrendous. But, like, let's just stretch that out on no clickbait. Johnny Venko, Chicho hits suck. Yes.
Yes,
For
they
those
do.
of you who don't know, Chicho is basically like the little side, like
Your love handles?
Love handles, yes. It's like when you get hit in the love handles, like, that is.
It's brutal.
All right, Colin McAnally. I'm new to Airsoft and I have my gun. What mags do you recommend? Well, it depends on what gun you have. I'm assuming that you probably have an M4. In that case, Elite Force mags work well. PTS EPM mags are basically the #1 mags, but they're a little bit more expensive. So it really depends on where your price range is. But normally, I'd say Elite Force, KWA, or PTS.
I will say this though, not an M4 user, but I've seen him dealing with his mags a lot. And one thing that most people will come ahead and tell you, it's like, hey, try to avoid the high cap mags because of the rattling sound, especially if you want to try to get in closer. Like that sound can be annoying. It can get you into some troublesome situations depending on how good you are at like trying to ambush your opponents and stuff. So that's one thing to look out for when it comes to mid caps. Like prices will vary depending on the brand and seeing how they fit into your rifle.
Yeah, just make sure it's compatible.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get a high cap, I suggest the flash mag better, like the Hex Max flash mags, because winding the wheel takes forever. It's a pain, but with the flash mags, just a couple pills and you're done. Super loud, like it's not the most convenient, like loud wise, but at least it's set. But yeah. Airsoft Militia, can you do a video editing tutorial?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I don't know, because like it doesn't really go with the theme of the channel, though I've had a lot of people asking me how I edit my videos. I use DaVinci Resolve. My editing, I've been studying editing ever since I was in like middle school or something. It's been something that interests me in a while, but most of it I've learned off of YouTube. It's actually not as difficult as people think. You just got to get into it. So I don't know, but it is an interesting idea,
Yeah,
I guess.
it just takes time and practice, and I bet most of you guys will be a lot more tech savvy than I am. He's very tech savvy.
Aren't you studying programming?
I am studying programming, but I'm still very, very new to the entire use of the computer. So, cool beans. Do you guys have a Discord server? Yes, we actually do.
There's a video on my channel that you can check after this. It literally says like new Discord server. It's a short. And under all of my videos, I have it linked in a link tree where I have all my social media, so you can follow me there. And we talk basically all the time. I've been a little bit more quiet these past couple days because college has me super tight. So it's been a little bit difficult on that. But we do have a Discord server. It's going to be in the descriptions of basically all of my videos. My camera's running out of battery.
Oh.
So answer, let's see. I can imagine my funny the quality of the slide though, crisp.
Yeah.
Alright, my friend bought the CM16 G&G armament, and if you're into speedsofting, get it. That's a very interesting choice for speedsofting. I haven't really seen that.
Although I would words come out of my mouth sometimes. Anyway,
by the way, I'm gonna change the battery in the camera, so it's gonna go dark for a second, but you will be able to hear us.
Yeah. So I think speed softing is pretty interesting. We had a very recent experience. Actually, not we. I did recent with a team from here from Puerto Rico. They're called the milsim team. Like they are really cool guys. They actually lent us, or not lent us, but allowed us to be on their field for one of the previous videos for the AA12 with Naru. And when we went there to play, honestly, it was something completely different from our usual gameplay, because where we usually play, it's really outdoorsy and there's a combination of urban and rural. There's a little bit of a jungle section and it's really cool. But when we come over here, like, it's completely indoors. They have a bunch of like barrels and a lot of planks of wood kind of like acting as cover, and it was a very unique experience. It was very cool in the sense that I had never gone through such a fast-paced type of game before, because I remember our usual games will probably last maybe 5, 10, 15, even 20 minutes, even more sometimes. But in Speedsoft, yeah, I don't think we last even 2 minutes on that field before everybody gets eliminated in one team, which was kind of crazy for me, because like I'm still expecting, I'm guessing we're missing like 3 more on the other team. No, they're all done. They're gone. And we're going to start the next round in less than 15 minutes. Like, if you want to go ahead and reload. And I'm like, wait, what? We finished? But I didn't even get a shot off. Oh, yeah, no, because you stayed back. You have to, like, dash in there.
You have to go.
Dash head first into it and see if you get one or get shot. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a completely different experience, but I still think it was pretty fun. And a lot of people will have their choice. They'll be like, oh, we like exclusively milsim, or oh, we like exclusively Speedsoft. I think both experiences...
They're both good. It just depends on what you're looking for at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think mixing them is a good idea. Some people don't care. That is completely up to debate. That is a very big discourse. But I feel like they should just be in their separate respective places. But it doesn't mean because one is better than the other. I just feel like it's just more comfortable for everybody involved.
Exactly.
So we have a ton of comments that have come in because we're rambling. So let's try and like speed through until we get up to date. Ben is cool 1212. CQB tip, get a flashlight. Good tip. Blinds the enemy. They cannot see your outline. That is amazing tip. A little bit expensive, but you can find Fayachi makes some really cheap ones. What is your opinion on World War I airsoft? Love it. It's a little bit inconvenient, expensive, but it's super, super cool. I think it's great.
Like fantastic. Like even the uniforms look pretty cool.
Also, don't chicken wing. Hold your arm in an awkward position. Yeah, chicken wing is when you when you're aiming and you kind of stick out your elbow. Don't do that. You get shot very easily when you're turning a corner.
And it sucks when it's right on the bone.
Yeah. What do you think is a good upgrade for an AEG?
So many things.
Yeah, so many things, but for one, I would say motor, gears. If you upgrade the motor to something strong, you're going to have to upgrade the gears because you could strip it. Motor, gear, piston, piston head, and hop-up. I feel like a hop-up, primarily, a hop-up and a good barrel make a world of a difference.
Yep.
My rifle, like, not to work the hop-up, it went from 150 to 290. So, huge difference. I'd say start by there, and then you can slowly go into, like, adding a little bit more crispness on the trigger response. A Gate Titan is also amazing, but they're very expensive, so it depends on what you have.
Hello, Jude Wilson.
Yeah. Dark red, the pain is unbearable. I don't know what pain you're referring to, but probably, yeah. Daddy says, when are we playing, boys? I'll send you a message. We have something set up.
Yeah, we're still planning.
Are you guys streaming on Twitch too? Well, I stream on Twitch every now and then, very, very sparsely. More so to like entertain myself and talk with you guys. I just play random games, usually indie horror games, and kind of have fun. But again, it is on my link tree in my description, so you can follow it just in case I do a stream some point soon. I'm drinking straight salt. Metal. Do you know a good starter sniper for about $80 to $100? There's an ASG sniper that like M3OA or something like that. M4A1 or something like that. It's an ASG rifle. Pretty good from what I've heard, but I don't really use sniper rifles. Haven't used many, so I can't really say much there. My friends.
Me neither. Mainly shotgun and pistols right now.
My friends and I are setting up some outdoor maps in our backyard. We've got some space. Do you have any tips for sneaky woodland play? Watch your steps. Avoid twigs and leaves. Try and stick on grass. And try and get your camouflage to match either dark blacks or something like that. Or preferably multicam black. Or dark greens or browns depending on what the foliage is around your house. And basically slow movements. Because nothing in the woods moves fast unless it's alive, and if it's alive, they're going to be looking for it.
Also, depending on what you have set up on your gear, like a lot of the times, and we had a conversation about this recently actually, my gear, I like to leave my front area completely clean out of anything like pouches or whatever. I try to keep it on my sides, because a lot of the times, what I would do to try to get
a lot.
Yeah, what I would do to get closer to the enemy without them noticing very well, I would go prone, I would crawl, like, all the way, like sticking to the ground, so I can try to like use the advantage of having the tall grass around me kind of cover me up completely while people are completely unaware, because a lot of times, depending on the environment, like a little bit of rustling isn't really going to trigger anybody, especially on a windy day. Like if it's really windy and there's a lot of brush and you hear the branches and leaves kind of rustling in the wind, they're not going to suspect anything out of you kind of crawling through a really padded area, I guess, because a lot of times if you go through grass, it's really easy. If you go through mud, it's a little bit well, more uncomfortable and it'll ruin a lot of your look, but at the same time, hey, instant camo, what's up? So yeah.
Also, one thing, bushes are great for camo, bad for cover. Trees are good for cover, bad for camo.
Yes.
So take that as you will. So let's where am I at?
I really do ramble.
There's a lot of comments. Thank you guys. I love that you guys are commenting so much. This just makes it a lot funner. So I had to leave the stream for 5 minutes. I need to help put groceries away. You probably came back by now. So what's up? Johnny, ask Chang about getting shot in the neck.
There's a story.
I feel like there's a story that we haven't heard about. What's your opinion on the airsoft ban in Canada? Super stupid. I feel like there's no reason except for sensationalism. I'm not gonna get too political because like that doesn't lead to anywhere.
It's just
good.
a very unfortunate incident.
I feel like it's very unfortunate and very unnecessary. I feel like it's taken a little bit too seriously, and I've seen places where they enforce it a little bit harder, but banning it completely, I feel like is a complete waste of opportunity of such a great sport and connections.
Yeah.
Gabe, Wilfredo is in the house. Wilfredo, that's my dad, by the way. Wilfredo, like childhood friend Wilfredo, because if that's true. What's up, dude? You guys don't know who that is, but
I still say hi.
Really good friend. Should I get the $100 blowback 1911 or a $90 HK? It really depends on the pistol and the rifle.
It depends on you.
Yeah, it depends on what you want, and it depends on each of the specs individually. So by that, I can't really give you anything. Maybe send it through a Discord, and we can talk a little bit more later.
We're up to me 1911.
Let's see. A lot of spamming. Yeah, guys, please don't spam. Like, I understand that you want to be heard, and like, trust me, we're reading through all of these, and we're picking from what people want to say. But don't spam because it takes away opportunity for other people to talk. So I'd really appreciate that. Let me see. Okay. Oh, this is Luis, actually. How did you... convince your poor friends to become dummies for charging. I didn't. You literally offered yourself every single time. Especially Caleb, too.
Yeah.
He's a masochist.
Actually, we didn't get to that part of the story.
I'm so confused. He sees the comments that I don't. P9. I have like a whole like tab open just for the like comments. Is there a huge Shalea back on cheesy? Yeah. There's so many. Maybe he was reading Twitch comments. I am not. I'm reading
We're
the
not.
comments. Yeah.
Hi, cheesy.
The Asian hype. Gabriel, it's Comrade Doggo from Discord, the one who's learning Espanol. Hello.
Hey.
Hello, man.
Hola.
Nice to see you. Really cool guy. Meet him in the Discord server. How you been, dude? Like, glad that you actually made it to the server. Though, sadly, over here, I have to talk to you in English instead of Spanish because I gotta make it easily accessible to rest. Story behind that is that he's learning Spanish, so whenever we talk, I try and speak Spanish in order to help him get a little bit of practice in there. Alright.
Just for those of you who might be new to the channel or something and are coming into the live for some reason, we're actually from Puerto Rico, and the main language here is Spanish, so that's why we're talking about that.
Our first language is Spanish, and after that we learned English. So there's a lot of Spanglish going on. We actually have to try very hard to not switch over.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Let's see. We're almost caught up. Mago Poker, great show, guys. Thank you so much. Dude, that channel, if anybody's interested in poker, Mago Poker, super good. They have a lot of great tips, so you can check that out. Damascus Airsoft, make funny JoJo reference. Which one?
Yotaro!
No. I wish I knew the line. I've always wanted to learn that conversation. The only thing I know is literally what I made for like our necklace, just Ichibi okega. No, no, be okega.
Actually, that
wait. Tokyo.
I switched around
the
numbers.
Like, the numbers aren't right. It was Ichibi okega, Nibi okega, Sambi okega. What was four again?
Gobi okega.
Nanabi okega.
But Nana is like
no,
7.
Zambio. Whatever.
Sorry, guys.
Sniper, what's up? Gawi Mago Poker's in the house. I just saw. Super excited. Woo! Everybody, what's your opinion on springers? Don't really get them unless you're plinking cans. If you're going to a game, not really useful unless everybody else has a springer.
Excuse me. Depends on the springer, because my shotgun is a springer, technically.
Well, okay. Fair enough. I'm thinking about Springer pistols, which is usually what people call springers. If you're talking like shotguns or sniper rifles, they're cool. They're cool.
Yeah.
They serve their purpose. But like spring pistols, not that much.
You don't want to main them at all. But in any case, like if at any point you're ending up with like a bad battery, or it ran out, or you ran out of gas, like hey, if you got a spring, like at least you got a backup weapon just in case.
Exactly. The only problem is like when a spring breaks, it breaks.
Yeah.
Because like if it breaks, it means that something physical broke, not electrical. So yeah.
Just try not to main it.
The Asian Hive. What is your #1 beginner recommended secondary? That's actually a good question because I don't know myself. As some of you may know, my secondary actually broke a while ago, so I'm actually in the search for a secondary. So one of my considerations is the WeTech Glock 17, which Caleb has, which I might make a video on. It's a really good sidearm.
Coming soon.
But Glocks really aren't my style, like aesthetically. So that's why I've been kind of considering. The other one, I feel like Tokyo Marui high kappas are great, but they're expensive.
Very.
Like I'm pretty sure you can't get much better than that, but they're expensive, so it depends on what you're looking for. But the high kappas, Mark 23s, great pistols.
Yeah.
The SSP 18 that came out from Novridge,
amazing
pistol. So it really depends on what you're looking for, but I kind of owe you that one because I don't really look for secondaries too much. Kiki plays. I've been thinking about getting one of those fancy M4s with MOSFETs and electric triggers. You should, 100%. Makes a world of a difference. Where are you reading your questions from?
Chat.
I have a computer set up like right here, and my laptop's open, and just the chat is like splayed out up front. They're older questions. Yeah, they're the older questions because we started like rambling a lot. So we're like, that's why we're going so quickly now to try and catch up.
Yeah.
So Fox Airsoft has some pretty good cheap CO2 secondaries. I mean, yeah, I'm not a big fan of CO2. It's pretty annoying to deal with.
Wait, did I read that right? Did Chan go back down? Go back down.
Give me a second. One thing at a time. What's your opinion on electric blowback guns? Very delicate, but cool. I would still go for a gas blowback.
Yeah.
There are many stories. What's the Discord? The Discord is going... It's not on this... We don't have description on this live, but go to any of my other videos. In the description, it says link to my socials, and that is where you'll find everything.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, there it is. I saw it. Chan, 1v1 me, Caleb. I will, one day. Coming soon.
Dude, but the thing is, you live at the butt end of the island. Like, we almost never get to play with you, so move over to the metro and then we'll talk. BB guns do not equal airsoft. Yes, a lot of people don't know that BB guns and, like, pellet guns, not the same. BB guns have, like, steel, smaller pellets. They're used a lot for pest control. You could seriously harm someone.
Very, very dangerous.
Not the same. Whenever you're buying something, make sure that it says 6mm airsoft BB and not a 1.77 cal. Can't wait. Who can't wait for this channel to get 1 million subs? Me. I can't wait for that. That'll be great. I want that to happen now. Pogger Jojo reference. You're welcome. You guys still playing BC? Not that much recently. There's been a lot of unfortunate incidents. I don't want to get into it. It's just long stories, but it's just gotten a lot less safe. Just some people not doing what they should. So right now we're kind of just tending more to private games. What was your first airsoft gun? Mine was a Lancer Tactical LT-19B. Great rifle. I recommend it to anybody. 160 full kit.
Yeah, and in my case, it was the shotgun. It was a SEMA M870. It's actually one of the... Actually, your M4 Lancer Tactical was the first video that you made, and then the second one is the SEMA, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the second one was
yeah, so if you want to see, a little
very
bit more in depth...
awkward me before I got used to a camera. There you go. It's the longest video I've made. It's like 17, 18 minutes or something. And I reduced it from like
we still
half
had our hairs dyed. Like, you had red, I had green.
Yeah, that was by the second video. In the first video, I still had my like natural hair color, but we were like red and green. We looked like Pokemon trainers.
Bulbasaur for the win.
Yeah, 100%.
Johnny Venko, Glock. Yes.
Glock and Luger superiority.
Cheesy bread, you're my man. Yes.
What about Umarex Combat Enforcer? Seems like a good secondary for a cheap. I'm pretty sure that's the pistol that I reviewed in my Amazon bestseller pistol. So if you want to know my thoughts, you can just watch the video. Great for a beginner. I feel like once you evolve from that beginner phase, it's not as useful. But to get you on the field, I feel like it's great for the price.
Yeah.
Landon, how's everyone's day? See, that's a man with good etiquette. How are you guys? Enough about how are you guys? How are you doing? We're doing great. How are you?
We're doing fine.
Johnny Benko, SSP-18 is my new sidearm. Yeah,
We saw it.
We
It
saw
was
it.
an
It was
amazing
great.
gun.
it was great. Like honestly, I'm looking to steal it myself.
I just love the fun switch.
Yeah, going full is amazing. I want to get an AAP01. Super good, very cheap, but I feel like they get you in like the modifications. They're way too expensive. Modifications are more expensive than the pistol. But if you get the baseline pistol, it's a little under $100. Great pistol if you want something different.
Yeah, and highly underrated.
If you consider a USP-45 as a sidearm, feels good and its grip helps when shooting them out. Luis, not particularly, because I'm looking for something a little bit sleeker. The USP-45 is a really cool gun. It's kind of like tough and it's a little bulky in a good way, like not bulky and inconvenient. But I'm more of like the slender 1911 type build rather than like the bulky builds. I had the SIG P229 because it was a gift, and I actually love the P229, but it is a little bit bulkier than what I would go for normally. I don't know about if you would consider that.
Well, I don't know. Like, in my opinion, like the Glock is already like a really blocky, and especially the WeTech. The WeTech tends to be a little bit wider than other replicas, and when it comes to its parts. But I've never felt uncomfortable with it. I never felt it to be too.
The thing is, like, the Glock is blocky in design, but it is still pretty slender. It is small.
Yeah.
It's a small. I remember that when I went to a shooting range, my biggest issue was that the 45 cal that we had was a Glock, and it was like a tiny snubby Glock. And the Glock is already lightweight. Mix that in with a short barrel, no weight at all, no counter. That was a super pain in my hand. So I liked the Beretta because it was like full metal, heavy, and it was a 9mm, so it was super comfortable to shoot. Let's see what else. What's a good starter gun for a 12-year-old?
Ask your parents.
Ask your parents, and if you get permission, like I said before, the Lancer Tactical, great gun. If you're looking for just like middle of the road, if you're looking for something more specific, then kind of requires a more specific answer.
Yeah.
Let's see. I made it back in time to hear them say me. Let's see. Once Damascus hits 1 mil, it won't be considered a legend because we already knew it had happened.
Cheesy.
Cheesy.
My man.
That's called wisdom. I have a BB gun and it has 7 joules. That's 1,000 plus FPS.
Yikes.
Yeah, there's a lot, which like, especially the pump ones. The CO2 ones, the pistols go to like almost 500. But like the pump rifles, those are crazy. That is for literally killing like small animals. Let's see what this is. Would you rather use a more modern gun like an M4 or an older style like an M1 Garand or something? That really depends. Like as a main, I would rather an M4 because again, our rifles evolved for a specific reason. Of course, like it is a more solid platform overall. But I do really want like an M1 Garand, an STG.
The aesthetic.
Yeah,
point.
Not only that, the aesthetic, but also if I'm going to do like a DMR build or something, I would love to do like an M14 or an M1 Garand like DMR build. Really depends on what I'm going for, but as is like every day, I would choose a more modern style because of design.
I am a very unpractical person on the field, as again I have mentioned many times. I use a pump action spring shotgun. Not a very common thing. Actually, that is technically my nickname out on the field right now.
Everybody calls him escopeta, which just means
Escopeta
shotgun,
is just
like
shotgun.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Just means shotgun in Spanish.
Yeah, and like everybody asks me like the same question over and over. It's like,
Why?
really? Like why?
The question is just why.
And then the second one is like, how far does it get? And I actually have the like, hey, it'll get there in like half an hour, but the BBs get to the target.
It'll reach.
And they're like, really? Are you sure? I'm like, try it out. Just try it out. I give into their hand, and you cannot believe how many times I've seen the same reaction. They're like, whoa! Like they are completely surprised that its capacity for range, and actually, I just find that it's really comfortable in my hands. Like, as I mentioned before, Johnny was the first person besides Gabriel to lend me a rifle out in the field to try it out, and I didn't feel right with it. And it's nothing against the gun. The guns were fantastic. I just felt a lot more comfortable with the shotgun.
It all comes to individual style. But in that case, I'm very basic. Like a lot of people are like, I don't want an M4. That's basic. I'm like, it's popular for a reason. Like I'm with whatever works.
So many attachments now.
Exactly, 100%. Let's see. All right. It's midnight here, dude. It is literally 7 p.m. here. Like
Yikes.
the time difference is huge. My dad says, Cheesy, you're already a legend. That is facts.
Yeah.
Cheesy's been there since the start. Hey, Gabriel, in the future, if I go to Puerto Rico, can I go to one of your Airsoft games? 100%.
Yeah, man.
1,000%. I want you to understand, I've played with viewers before, and I absolutely love doing so. Because I love meeting new people. Like, surprise, surprise, somebody that's on social media. I love meeting new people, and I love playing with my viewers.
It's like, friends?
A lot
Where?
A lot of times they ask me, like, oh, where are you going to play? I tell them, oh, I'm playing here just so people can, like, try and find me. And it's been very weird being recognized because I don't know the person, but they come up to me and they're like, Damascus? I'm like, who? Oh!
We actually noticed the last game that we went to out in the safe zone when we were just hanging out and like trying to like get everything set up. They're like, hey, Gabriel, oh, Gabriel, oh, Gabriel. And then in the field, it's like, hey, Damascus, over here.
Yeah, like there's a switch in personality. Like they met me through Damascus, but then they're like, oh yeah, Gabriel, like person, friend. But in game, for some reason, everybody switches and they're like, Damascus. I'm like, why? Like I'm still the same person.
Are you really?
Yeah, but yeah, 100%. If anybody comes to Puerto Rico for a time and they can play Airsoft, 100%, let me know.
Hit us up. Discord.
Yeah, SSP1 or SSP18? 18, 100%.
18.
All the way. SSP1 is good, but the SSP18 is better. Like, it has the versatility of semi and full, and it just seems like a more well-rounded, like, pistol all around.
But in any case, if you're still interested in the SSP one, we actually did
I
a
made a
review because one of our friends, Efrain, he actually got the SSP one and he absolutely loves it.
Yeah, he adores that pistol, and a lot of people do. But you know, it really does depend on kind of what you're looking for. Personally, I think the 18 is a better one, considering that it has more functionality and it is a newer design. So obviously, the newer the design, the more they try and work on getting everything tweaked down perfectly.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see if I can make a video on the SSP 18 soon enough.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. But yeah. What do you think about canted sights or slanted sights? I told my friend his bullets would just curve when he uses them because of his hop-up, but he still wants a canted sight. 100% it will curve your BB, because the way that a hop-up works basically curves your BB up in order to kind of deal against gravity with the help of the air. But the problem is if you turn your rifle, it's just going to turn in that specific direction. Now, if you have like wind coming from the side and you slant it in the opposite direction, it'll help even it out, which is absolutely great as a strategy. But if you have a slanted sight, or a canted sight, better said, it will affect the trajectory in a longer range. Will it affect it enough in a short range for it to matter? I don't know. I don't think so. Like, if you're shooting anybody under 30, 40 feet, I think you should be fine. But anything over that, it would be very ineffective. Unless you have two sights and might as well have both of them on there. I wouldn't really recommend it.
Although, if you want to go ahead and, like, play all wanted style, where you're, like, curving that bullet, seeing if you can get somebody out of a corner.
Some people have done that. Some people literally like gauge their hop up the full way and they shoot around a corner and get somebody.
Which is pretty insane. Like, you gotta be like Hawkeye level to do that kind of a shot.
Yeah. Waiting to see you play in the West. I'm waiting to be able to play in the West. It's very far away and I'm always busy. But I do want to play, like, for example, Monte Pirata. Like, I've been wanting to play there for a while. Lambie, yeah, everybody's like, Lambie, stop spamming. Like, my guy. I'm seeing.
Yeah. Lambie, you got our attention.
Yeah. Is this pre-recorded?
No,
it's not. As you can tell, it's just a lot of comments rolling in, and we want to give everybody their due time.
Wow,
everybody
went out there. Wait, what's the
ICS?
What? ICS M1 Garand is beautiful.
100%. I've seen it before. It's really nice. I try to get this a lot, but do you have any thoughts on the DNG CM16 Raider CQB? I've seen that they're pretty good. Never used one myself, but I do have a lot of friends that vouch for it, and they've been in the sport for years. They use them a lot for base rifles in order to upgrade them. So I feel like it is a very good, it's the same as the GNG combat machine type of, this is a combat machine 16, but they're usually used as a base rifle to upgrade, but it's a good alternative if you have the money for it, because they are a little bit more expensive than like other beginner rifles. So they are good. They are good from what I've heard. The reason I asked because I have an electric blowback PPSH 41. Ooh. Dude, I adore the PPSH so much because of World at War. I love the PPSH. When it comes to electric blowback, yeah,
the bug bit,
dude, it was But when it comes to electric blowback, like I said, it's a lot more delicate and it ends up breaking pretty fast. And gas blowback just makes it feel a lot more realistic. So if I were to choose between one and the other, I choose gas blowback. But I have nothing against electric blowback. Like if the blowback feature breaks, it's just an AEG, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Def Size 2213, Shotgun Man, you know it!
That's Luis. Oh, this is a question for you.
Oh, cool.
How do you wear your glasses while in game, or do you wear contacts?
Ah.
Question not for game. Yeah, this is not for all.
Yeah, so Santee Super Stunts. Okay, so in my case, yes, I do use my glasses under my goggles. Right now, I'm using another type of goggle, like it's kind of like a little face mask thing that I have. I don't know the brand, but I know that it is accessible on eBike. I just don't remember the name right now. But in my opinion, like I've tried using contacts, and for the most part, like I am the type of person that unfortunately has the most awful genes when it comes to sweat glands. I sweat so much that they pour into my eyes sometimes, and they just bother me. And while having a contact in there while playing Airsoft, and you want to try to get it out, obviously that's a very dangerous, hazardous thing to do. So I rather prevent that situation. If anything, I just do wear my glasses. A lot of the times I do suffer from fogging only in my glasses instead of the actual lens, which is kind of bothersome. So I do try, again, like those really dumb techniques that I was talking about before in CQB instances where you're trying to control your breathing. That helps a lot with the fogging, because obviously, yes, your body heat will affect it, but also your breath. If you're not in control, that can still come up and will fog your glasses up completely.
Another thing is a ventilated mask. A lot of times using a mesh mask is much better, and not having it covered. In this case, since we're in COVID times, I kind of have to suck it up because I'd rather be safe. But normally, a mesh mask with nothing impeding it, no cloth, no nothing, is super, super good.
Yeah, and like there are people who they recommend the amazing, like what was it, the electric fans over on the fast helmets that are directed towards your goggles, and like there's a few very futuristic looking helmets that
there's a couple of goggles that also have a fan like in the goggles themselves.
True.
There's some on Amazon that are like $30 some, which a friend of mine has. And he says that they've worked great. I've actually been thinking about getting them myself, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So there are options for that.
Yeah. So my opinion, my case. Sorry, the Oh, okay. English. In my opinion, when it comes to like the goggles that I'm using right now, as long as you have some spacing where there is a little bit of ventilation to go around your eyes, it should help if there's enough space for your glasses. My glasses are pretty wide. The corners kind of end up biting the inside of the plastic or foam sometimes, but still it'll kind of like keep them in place. A lot of the times these little notches in the middle, they kind of press down on my nose, on the bridge of my nose, if the goggles are too tight.
Yeah, it's just inconvenient altogether. Honestly, the number one recommendation I've seen so far is contact lenses, or they sell safety glasses with prescription.
Oh yeah,
they're a little bit more expensive. Not a little bit, they're quite a bit more expensive. But expensive, yeah. If it's something that you're going to do in the long run, that is a good alternative. But yeah, honestly, people that need glasses just got the short end of the stick when it comes to Airsoft.
In my case, eventually, I'm trying to save up for a very special, cool helmet that I found, the SR futuristic helmet system, where it's kind of like a fast helmet, but it has a visor on the front where it covers your face, your eyes. There's a lens that's also a thermal lens. It'll be dual paned, and it has some really cool like little fans on the sides. They go over your ears, which for some people that might be an inconvenience, because if the sound might distract them from not being able to listen to their surroundings. Hey, as long as I can see what's in front of me,
yeah,
I don't
honestly,
think I'd mind.
Another alternative is using like a Vulcan or a dye mask.
True.
Full face masks, like paintball type masks, those work really, really good to avoid fogging and to fit glasses. So in that case, you're gonna have like it's an alternative. Some people don't like full masks, but if you can't find anything else, you kind of just
A lot of people do recommend them either way.
Yeah.
With or without
Yeah,
glasses.
they're just good.
We went on a long tangent on that one. Sorry.
We use a lot of people. Adrian L, do you think kids are misrepresented in Airsoft? I understand what you're trying to say. I don't think misrepresented is a word. I feel like maybe it's prejudice against them. And yes and no. I feel like there is a limit. When it comes to age, and this applies to everything, I feel like maturity level is more important. Intelligence level is more important than age, because everybody ages differently. There's some people that at 20 are more irresponsible than 12-year-olds. So you can't really, like, there's kind of some wiggle room. But there is definitely a limit. I've seen people, like, bring in kids that are, like, about hip height. And I feel like that's way too much, considering that there's some dude with a Polar Star shooting, like, 60 RPS, like, right next to him. And everybody's, like, actively thinking about, like, hey, don't light up the kid. But I feel like there are limits. And the limit is basically, can this kid take a hit? And can this kid trip over and, like, eat it? And can this kid handle being mag dumped accidentally or on purpose? If they can, and they're okay with that, then I feel like it's okay. It's okay as long as there's parental supervision. Exactly. As long as their parent is there to make sure, not necessarily parent, just somebody adult with them, just in case anything happens. I feel like this is a sport for everybody. There's no need for, like, elitism being like, oh, adults, this is an adult game. It's not an adult game. It was
It's
made
a game.
It was made for kids. It started off made for kids, and then, like, adults decided to be like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like children should be allowed, like, younger people should be allowed in Airsoft, though the limit is that, like, how much can they take and bounce back
And they
from?
have to be very educated on something.
Exactly.
Especially
They have
on
to be
safety.
Safety is important.
Key.
But again, I've seen little kids with better gun discipline than
Yeah,
adults.
actually, we used to we've played with this guy. I think he's ex-military or something, and he brings over. I think his son is what, 13, 12?
Yeah, but 13, I feel like that's a good amount.
Yeah, but then we had the other guy who brought over his, like, 9-year-old, and everybody was aware, like, hey, this is the 9-year-old kid.
Yeah,
he had a really cool bike
I
helmet
feel
with
like
spikes.
it was like that Mohawk spike from Walmart. But that kid, I feel like he was too young.
He
Person,
was.
I
Young.
feel like he was too young. He did not reach my hip, and I'm not the tallest guy around.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's pushing it. But that's just me.
But the kid knew what he was doing, at least.
Yeah, at least he was doing it safely.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people with shotguns in the field. I've seen 3 myself. It's just kind of, it's something you just kind of admire at some point. Yeah, you're right. There.
Thank you.
All right. So you did this yourself. You didn't set a nickname before it stuck. # Damascus forever. I don't mind it. It's just odd for me because I've never had a nickname in my life aside from, like, Gabe or Gawi, but they're all deriving off my name. Cheesy bread. I had a cut on my gum, so I understood. I had to use Himalayan pink salt to rub it on the wound. Needless to say, it hurt. I'm a funny pain. Why did you do that, though?
I mean,
Why? Why would you literally rub salt on the wound?
to, like, not... I don't know. Not get it infected or something?
The Asian Hive. The 2 people who dislike this Q&A will have a bad day. I don't wish a bad day, but they're probably having one, because, like, I don't know what the beef is.
We're just having fun.
Philippi, thoughts on AUGs? They're okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of bullpups, but they're pretty cool.
I think they're awesome, honestly. Like, it's one of the things that I've seen that's pretty unique in design. Like, having the grip so far forward is really cool, in my opinion, because, again, I like the idea of a CQB weapon, like, being as close to yourself as possible, because when you're turning around corners, it's so convenient not to be able to give out your
Yeah, but the thing is, an AUG is, like, the longer side of the spectrum when it comes to, like, subs. So it's somewhere between. I feel like it would be kind of like my EMG. And again, I'm just not a huge fan of bullpups, but I still think it's very cool. Would I own one eventually? Maybe if, like, a proper price
Or
on, like, a
P90.
used one. I feel like maybe, but not really on my list.
I just like the whole like design. The AUGs and P90s are really cool.
Stormgear 44s are pretty hot. Yes, they are. Plot twist. Caleb doesn't need glass and he goes. He got so used to playing Airsoft, he's just using looking safety goggles for Airsoft. Yep. X-Fog is really good for getting rid of fog.
Yes, that is true.
There's a lot of anti-fog. I use dish soap, but
no, but he means the fan. Like Xfog is a fan system. It's a really
oh,
good
it
system.
is. Oh, okay,
People will recommend it all the way. Like it's amazing.
Oh, I thought
system.
it was. I thought it was just like one of these solutions that you like put on.
I actually looked up on it, but
Yeah.
I don't got the cash right now.
No, yeah, they're expensive. With him, Gabriel planning on getting another gun that's not an AR, like an MP5. Probably. It was on my list. But if I'm getting an MP5, I'm getting a gas blowback, 100%, because it just looks cool. It looks sick. I was thinking also about getting a Mac 11, but they're really hard to come by and pretty expensive for what they are. So I'm
Get the box.
yeah, I'm kind of, but I am thinking about getting stuff that's kind of out of the norm. But you know, money. All right. Amanda, my EBB has the best range of any gun I've ever seen on the field, and it has never really broken, but I understand your thoughts. The brand is Snow Wolf. I got it on e-bike. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Snow Wolf, and honestly, I'm super glad that it's been working well. I haven't dealt with an EBB. I've seen them on field, but I'm just telling what I've heard, and what I've heard is just a lot of them eventually end up breaking the blowback portion. So if yours hasn't broken, then amazing. Like, I hope that it never does. I'm just relaying the information. I haven't really had any experience.
In any case, that just comes down back to like the basics of like, hey, replica maintenance in this case.
Exactly. Like
a lot
maintaining
of people,
your replica is very, very important.
A lot of people really like downgrade the importance of maintenance. Like even I myself, I struggle. Like my Glock is still kind of dirty, and I have to clean the inner barrel. But a lot of the times, like when it comes to these systems that, of course, over time they're gonna keep degrading, they're gonna keep suffering the bangs and everything. Like eventually you're gonna have a setback, and as long as you know your weapon from the inside out, like as long as you keep maintaining it, whether it's by oiling it up or
especially gas.
Yes.
Gas blowback is super important than you maintain lubricated.
Yeah,
you got to do a 360 no scope with a Walmart Springer. I'm pretty sure
that's a challenge for Diego.
I'm pretty sure I have. Like I'm pretty sure that I did
But
that
with
in
a
8th
Springer?
grade. Yeah, 8th grade.
We gotta get Diego to do that with a little mini
Diego
pistol.
has like the little mini pistol that
It's
comes
tiny.
with the 10,000 round of like 0.12 gram BBs that's just tossed in there like old Lucky Charm toys.
He has 2 minutes for it.
Johnny Renko, or fans in the helmet like my Mandalorian helmet. Yeah, we were talking about that. In his case, he has like a custom Mandalorian helmet that he made, and he has fans inside of the helmet to just like improve ventilation, which is great. He just has like a battery pack attached to it, and it's a really good alternative. A little bit difficult or expensive, depending on which way you decide to get it, whether you make it yourself or you buy it like pre-made. But it is a really good alternative, especially because it just gets hot in general.
Yeah.
Ben Herbert, do you guys have any milsims there? Just got back from South Carolina from Operation Stonebreaker. Nice.
Ooh.
So we do, but because of like the pandemic, they've kind of stopped. They used to be pretty common from what I've heard, but they're kind of on hold because nobody really wants to make a huge activity in this time. So hopefully once this thing blows over, which is estimated to be around fall, we should be able to see kind of a rise in those. And I would love to do like a milsim video, just like of us doing like mission-based stuff. That would be super cool. Do you think an SMG like an MP5 or an AK-74U is a good alternative to an M4 at close to medium range? Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You can definitely, close to medium, I would say up to like 150 feet. You should be fine. Past that, you're going to see some pretty big spreading because of the shorter platform. Though you can kind of counteract that with like good barrel, a good hop up, stuff like that, and you can get some pretty wicked range. I've seen stubby rifles getting insane range, so you can work with it, but you can definitely use an MP5 or an AK-74U instead of an M4 if the M4 doesn't suit your fancy. It's just the most convenient platform, but these are absolutely great alternatives. What is the best budget full face mask for Airsoft? I was actually looking for a full face mask myself, and I kind of came to a conclusion of what I would get. Now again, I didn't end up getting it, so grain of salt. I was going to get the Valkyns MI3, MI5, I don't remember, or MI7s. There's just different ranges of the same one. Those are pretty cheap because dye masks are the top of the line, but they are very expensive.
Wicked expensive.
Yeah, they're very expensive and for due cause, but you know, it's very
Amazing
difficult
quality.
to get them. One thing is don't go for dye mask imitations because they've been known to break.
Yeah.
So every time that you get a new set of protection, shoot it, test it, make sure that it works before taking it to the field. But yeah, I would say that Balkan MI lines, like MI9s, were the last ones that I was checking. I feel like those are pretty good. Just go without glasses like I did for the video. That doesn't sound like.
Well, yeah, but your accuracy is way better than mine, according to that video.
Apparently. Oh my God, there's we're so behind. We're so behind.
This is so fun. Thank you, people.
All right, let's speed run. All right, I have to go. Good night, y'all. Wow, you're probably gone by now. Good night, Kiki.
Good night, Kiki.
I'm sorry that we didn't get there. Don't let the try-hard airsofters bite. Yes. I played with an 8-year-old kid, and that kid was boss. Bro, everybody has played with that one kid that just absolutely shredded everybody.
An idiot, but a boss either way.
Kiki said good night, y'all, after Jolly commented, and I got confused thinking he knew Jolly from the video. No. My school doesn't allow hats, so I'm growing my hair so I can style it into an entire Crusader helmet. Therefore, I can wear my hat and it won't be against the rules and they can't take it off. Well, they've made people cut their hair in school before, so I'd be weary.
Yeah.
Alright, when is there going to be more Airsoft gameplay? Hopefully soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
Again, college has had me like super tight grip, so I haven't had that much time. But we are setting some pretty cool private games, so I will be able to get a lot of gameplay through. I just hope that like I can actually get enough time to like edit them in between my classes.
Yeah, because you got a lot of stuff planned.
I get like 3 assignments a day.
Not just assignments, but you got a lot of videos coming out.
Oh yeah, 100%,
soon.
100%. How useful is a pistol really for CQC? Most people in my field just have a primary, and our arena is very close quarter and lots of buildings. Ooh. Pistols are really good, like
yes.
100%. There's some people that use simply like just pistols because you have the amount of maneuverability. Like you cannot beat the maneuverability of a pistol. If you rather a rifle than a pistol and you can work the rifle just fine, then maybe you don't need it. A secondary is really good if you're going through like a milsim or a longer game. Just in case you need a secondary, you run out and you like switch instead of reloading. But if you're just doing like SpeedQB and you don't want a pistol, then you don't really need one as a secondary because the games don't last that long.
Though it all depends on the area that you're playing out, what the rules are there too, because a lot of times like when we play, we always try to set the rules right before the game so everybody can pay attention. And it's like, hey, are we gonna have minimum engagement distance? Are we not? Like that'll count. Oh, a lot of the times, players that have DMRs, they can't be on field without a secondary because if you try
because
to
they
get
have a minimum engagement distance.
Yeah.
So if you get too close to them, the same with snipers. If you get too close to them, they cannot shoot you after a certain point. So they need to have a secondary, or else it's basically just suicide. But they're literally not allowed. Like you can't just be like, oh, I just won't shoot them. Like you have to have one.
Yeah, because even if we use the whole common bang bang rule that they try to implement in a lot of areas where they do CQC, over here, we don't normally play. Like I haven't had the experience of playing with the bang bang rule very much, so we barely have any minimum engagement at all, except for that, like having people with longer range designed rifles and stuff like. It's very, very important.
Yeah, anybody with a DMR or a sniper has a minimum because they're over the FPS limit. But in our case, anything like 400 and under, I think it was 1.58 joules or under is fair game. Chang says, don't let Benko catch you with that dirty glove.
It ain't dirty, no worries. I'm cleaning it.
This is actually a good question. Somebody asked, ooh, where did it go? Yeah, PRM Alejulio asked, why do people always use white BBs? Ooh. So the reason that BBs are white is because they're a lot easier to see while they're flying. So a lot of times, again, Airsoft, it's tiny plastic BBs that weigh almost nothing. So air is a very big factor. They're not the most accurate. Like they get very accurate, but over distance, they start spreading, and don't, no matter how much you zero in your sight, it's never going to be fully set. So it's very good to be able to see the trajectory of your BB, and you can kind of measure with there. There's a lot of people that don't even play that play like without any sights at all, and they literally just look at the trajectory, and that's kind of what they do. So white BBs are a lot easier. We've had experiences using tan BBs, and you could not see anything.
Yeah,
like you did
they
not
disappear.
know. You did not know if you were hitting them. You did not know what happened. The same with like camel type BBs. It's not good.
Like, I understand why people are attracted to the idea of a tan BB or camel BB, but like,
not great. Not
no, it's seriously not.
Yeah. Have you ever considered using an old style pistol like a classic 1911 or a Tokarev?
Yes.
Yes. Like I said earlier, my go-to was usually 1911. That's why I was considering the SSP1 for a time, and then I kind of decided to move more towards the Tokyo Marui High Kappa. It's kind of like a 1911 design. Then I went to the Combat Master from Terran Tactical, which is like the John Wick 1911 from his first movie. So I love 1911s. Tokarevs, I'm not a huge fan, but it would still be cool. Again, it's kind of like the opportunity arises, I might consider it. But yeah, I do like classic pistol styles. I kind of go for anything unless it's like either really weird, unconventional, or super bulky. Like bulky is just not my go-to.
Yeah, in my case, like I was very close. I was very attracted to the idea of getting a 1911 style pistol. But eventually, as Cheesy Bread has mentioned quite a few times in the chat, like the Luger caught my attention, and I love it. I absolutely love the PO8. Eventually, I would love to get one of my own. But right now, I am very, very fortunate to have these blocks, and they are amazing in performance, and having the ability to just have that CQB experience with a pistol is amazing.
CQB.
Yes! I love it! I love it!
Alright, we're almost catching up. Let's see. What do you think about the HK MP5 SD6 competition? Pretty sure that's the one that your brother has, like the first one that he got. If so, pretty good. They work really well. You can kind of upgrade them pretty decently. The body is not my favorite material. Like, it's a polymer body, but it's more of an ABS type. Like, it's more plasticky feeling than my Lancer Tactical. It's not my preferred material, but performance-wise, it was really good. It shot pretty well.
I smell food.
Yeah, I smell food. Somebody's cooking. He's a lot further than what I thought. No, we're literally right on, like, we're on the last part. Alright. Should I carry a pocket/utility knife to an airsoft game in a mully pouch? Yes, if it is allowed. Like, depending, like, if it is allowed on your field, if it's a private field, you should 100% ask. But if it is allowed, or if it's just an open field or something, I do recommend carrying one, because you never know when you're going to need a knife. Like, a knife is a very useful multi-tool, and a lot of times, even though it's not recommended, a lot of times you can use it to pry some sort of screw, to adjust the sight. You can use to cut some branches. You can use surrounding foliage as part of your ghillie if you have a ghillie. So it is a very useful tool. You just have to be very responsible and safe, because you don't want it falling into the wrong hands or getting hurt. Exactly. What type of vest do you recommend?
Ooh.
Well, that highly depends on what exactly what you're doing. SpeedQB players use chest rigs, very tiny ones, just bare bone necessity. Milsim players use plate carriers. In that case, I recommend like JPC carriers, like not necessarily their brand, but those kind of like that go up to like above your belly button. I don't like I have ones that go above my belly button, and one that goes to like my waist. And the one to my waist gives me great protection, but mobility when bending over, going prone, it gets very difficult. And so that's why I rather the one that's just like covering your chest, add some protection, but you know, you can keep all your stuff and you still have that mobility. So I would recommend going with that if you're into Milsim. If you're going into something more akin to SpeedQB, something smaller chest strap, like a chest carrier, and you're pretty good.
Yeah, and a lot of people actually do end up playing without any chest rigs sometimes, because all they do is rely on putting everything on their belt. So it all depends on the user, how you feel much more comfortable accessing all of your tools, all of your mags, all of your, maybe even a grenade pouch. Like, it all depends on your preference.
Yeah, 100%. I just ordered a 1911 tac, but I like to call it the taco. Nice.
Yes.
The taco. Everybody's just like, haha, funny taco, delicious, now I'm hungry.
Man!
You missed my last comment, so I commented again. What comment?
If they're easier to track
Yeah,
than shooting.
I don't know. Try and comment it again, because I don't know what comment you're talking about.
Sorry, Asian Hive.
Cheesy bread. I lost cooking permission in my house because I accidentally left oil burning. Now I can't make filet mignon or bacon. I can't even make rice. Blasphemy. Actually, I have a story about this. Caleb's cousin, not cousin, weird situation.
Oh, right.
He was cooking in our kitchen. Dude does not know how to cook. Thing is, I don't know how to cook. I mean, I know how to cook, but I'm not the best. He got like he was frying something. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like empanadilla or something. He was frying something and just full oil, like deep fry. And the dude took the pan to the sink and he put the oil under the water and just opened the water. You could imagine the oil explosion that occurred. Oil was everywhere in the kitchen. Smoke was like billowing out of the house. And we're like, what happened? And he's like, well, I just put it in the sink and just put some water on it. And we're like, you put water in hot oil? And he's
boiling
like,
oil?
Yeah, like it was literally straight off the stove. My sink is inches away. And he's like, yeah, what's the problem? And I'm like, oh my God, you're not invited again. Oh my God, it was... we should have a crusade for you, Cheesy. Alright. Would you like to test my KJ Works 1911?
Yes, please.
Ooh, that would be nice. Do you remember his?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice pistol. Honestly, I'd be down. What should you do when your mag is empty? Should you just toss it or put it away? Depends on who you ask. In my case, I re-index them. I have a dump pouch in the back of my belt, so I kind of just put them away. Some people just drop the mag on the ground, keep going, and then go to pick it up later. They know that they're risking losing it. They don't care. And if you don't care, but by all means, like, it is the fastest way of going about it. But in my case, I don't want to lose my mags, and I want to protect my mags, especially gas mags. Do not drop gas mags.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like mid caps, high caps, and stuff like that, it really depends on how willing you are to lose them.
And that's exactly what I was gonna go ahead and like show. Like, it depends, because a lot of times you're gonna have a lot of these rifle mags, or even like the shotgun shell cartridges. Like, they're all made of plastic. If you throw them down on the ground, it doesn't matter. If they're pretty easy to track as long as you try to identify them somehow. Like, these are red shells. They kind of show up in the grass.
Yeah, something that helps is painting them.
Yeah,
paint them bright colors.
We have a friend that paints everything like bright neon orange.
And if you don't like how it looks and you want to keep the look, just like put it inside of your magwell, draw a line, and then paint the top that goes inside of the rifle. You won't be able to see it unless it is outside of your rifle and the bright color's still there.
Yeah.
So you can do that, but as long as if you're willing to lose them, toss them. Like, it doesn't matter, whatever you want to do, it's your money. But when it comes to like taking hits, I don't feel like a mid cap or high cap gonna suffer too much.
But a gas mag,
never. Don't do that.
That's gonna suffer
do
so
not
bad.
do that. It's going to break it, and gas mags are a lot more expensive. Sorry, the smell was my chicken sandwich, guys. My dad was heating up a chicken sandwich. It smells so good. Amanda, do you think using a battle belt is useful? 100%.
Yes.
I'm looking for my belt right now.
Go for it.
Oh my God, this is my passion.
As he goes and looks for his battle belt, I shall try to comment on other things in the chat. Okay, so Smart Koala, yes. Snake Rep Studios, I know my comment is off topic. It's just... Oh, Smart Koala is Malaysia?
Let me see.
Hi, Malaysia.
Koala or smart?
Smart Koala.
Where is it? Oh, smart koala. I don't know. Probably not. Okay, she's small koala. I don't know. But
Oh.
yeah, this is my belt set up right here. It's a like Velcro combat belt. Super useful. I have like an extra mag, fast mag. Dealing from your hips is the fastest way. Like, your first line of sight should be your hips. That's where your holster goes. That's where your first mags go. And that's where you can keep your extras. Like, for example, using this admin pouch to hold my grenade. I have the dump pouch to like drop in my magazines if I'm in a rush. If not, I just re-index them. And literally anything that you want, you can put it on your belt. But it is super, super useful. I recommend it to absolutely anybody.
Including like a secondary holster.
Exactly. And honestly, it's to the point where if you have a jacket or you feel protected enough or something in game, I would recommend getting the belt before the plate carrier.
Yes.
Because the belt, it's a lot more useful. The difference is a plate carrier can hold a lot more magazines. When you're starting off, you don't really have that many. So having like 1 in the rifle, 2 on your belt, that like works great. And I feel like that is a lot better than getting a vest first. Both of them work, but that's just my opinion. Unless you want that extra bit of protection, then I would say go for the vest. But battle belts, 100% super useful.
And if you want to be like super extra when you're out on the street, not even playing Airsoft, hey, you got a really cool bougie belt.
Alright. By the time y'all read this, I'll be out, but you just earned a new sub. Continue with the reviews and gameplay. Thank you,
Santi Super Stunt.
Santi Super Stunt, thank you so much. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the time. I hope that you actually see this at some point. But enjoy the videos. J Gaming PR, where do you play? Usually I used to play in BC City, sometimes Padre Rufo. But now we're going to some more private games on private fields because we're just trying to keep it safe playing with people that we know. But I am still always down to play with new people.
Hey, my brother.
Would you recommend...
Would you forgive?
Would you forgive a teammate for friendly fire? I kind of have to. One of my teammates just not think before he shoots. We're going to have him like a
We'll
talk
forgive
about that.
them, but yeah.
We'll forgive him, but there's going to be consequences. You'll learn.
We'll rat your butt out here in like YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, our friend
Yeah,
did this.
Snake Rub Studios, if you throw your mags away, you're just burning money. Well, again, depends. It comes to basically if you're willing to the possibility of losing them. Obviously, the idea is to go back for them. Because under that logic, it's the same as throwing a grenade. Like, you toss it. But the idea is you go back for it. So you have to, like, be willing to the possibility of either not finding it because you forgot it, or either somebody took it. That's why it's important who you play with. But I believe that if you want to toss your magazines, go right on ahead. More power to you. I don't do it, but I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, no, but I wanna read this one. Sky Guy 360. Hi again. I got a great budget airsoft gun for 3 cents. How do I stop babies from going down my throat? I'm beginning to think that a straw might not be a good airsoft gun.
It's better than a lot of the springers I've seen. So honestly, like, maybe just like work on your guttural, but honestly,
and use 0.12 gram BBs.
Yeah, that is just the spray and pray method. And just for legal terms, this is a joke. I just missed when you replied to my oil story. You're gonna have to watch it again. Basically, a friend of mine almost blew up my kitchen by putting burning oil under water. Basically, you can't go there anymore. I'm looking at the Lancer Tactical LT25T. Should I get it? Lancer Tacticals are great. The 25T wasn't kind of my cup of tea, but I still have seen a lot of people use it and love it. I just rather the more carbine, like standard style look of the 19. But yeah, it is a great one, so I'd be completely cool with that. Cheesy. You should listen to Everywhere at the End of Time. It's a good song without lyrics and definitely not depressing song about dementia. The music definitely doesn't distort later on. Yeah.
Sus. You're being sus.
Yeah, you're being a little sus, man. Please don't actually. No, man. Now you got me curious. Now this is your fault. Eleanor Caustic. Do you play Speedsoft as well as milsim or just one of the two? Personally, I just play milsim. Well, milsim. We usually just play skirmishes, but my playstyle is more so of an aggressive milsim player. Not really Speedsoft. I don't like cross like aimlessly. Usually I sit back, strategize, and climb my way through the ranks, more so like a milsim style instead of like rushing down the middle. Again, I have no problems with Speedsoft. I just don't think that my setup and my strategy is the best for Speedsoft. I do want to try it at some point, but as of right now, that's kind of just what I do.
Yeah, no discrimination to either branch. I think both of them
They're
are really
both
fun.
great.
Like I got to experience both a little bit, and honestly, I just like both. I don't want to choose. A lot of the times, like yeah, sure, the combining both at the same time can be really weird dynamic. But when it's one or the other, both are such amazing and fun experiences, especially with the people that you play around with. Like it's such a different feel because I myself, he tries to infiltrate like slowly, kind of pacing himself. Sometimes I voluntarily, like you can ask some of the players on field if you ever come by, I tend to play as a decoy. I run around a lot, and people start shooting at me, and I'm like, hey, he's over at that corner over there.
He's always a martyr. No, in my case, I rush to the center and then work my way up from there. Like, I don't like playing in the back. In the back, I don't have the range. I don't have, like, the access. I like being in the middle or crossed. So I always rush to the center and then slowly jump using some strategy with some teams of mine.
I like surprising people. It's fun.
Have you seen the 6R M17? It looks like a super cool pistol. I have. It's really, really good. That's not the one that I have, though.
But you were looking at it, though. Like, you were trying to see parts for it, right? Oh, no.
No. The one that I have is the P229. The M17 is the new Army standard. The new standard is like the M17, which is usually tan, but it's really, really good. I actually love the style of it, but I don't feel like it's what I would choose as my main. I believe everyone in the Damascus team except Damascus himself have committed friendly fire. No, I have.
Yes,
but it's part of the learning process, so honestly, something you learn from. I have done friendly fire, usually more when I was starting off than now. But the last time that we played, a couple of bushes saved Caleb because he was in the direction of enemies and I couldn't see him clearly. So I started shooting, but then like once I noticed, I stopped, but bushes were in the way. But yeah, I have. It's something that happens.
You saw the pin.
Yeah. Smart Koala, I'm not the person that you think I am. Sorry. No, yeah, I expected
Sorry,
it much.
Smart Koala.
But don't worry, man. I'm still glad that you're here. Just you. Send the link for the gun on Discord. Here's pretty good for 150. I'll check it out later. One of my older friends. Yeah.
This pin right here.
Yeah, that
saved my butt.
That's what saved him from getting like his butt cheek absolutely ripped. One of my older friends, when we were younger, he had 3 subs and he wanted to do a fan meetup, and he put his address in the description. Ooh, that's bad. FAMAS. It's a FAMAS. Ooh, FAMAS. Redhead Airsoft just wanted to pop in and say, keep up the great work. Love your videos.
Hey.
Thank you so much, dude. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. TDF Caleb just for being monkey style. Quick mouse button. Alright. So, it's already been running for long enough, so Caleb didn't get to his part. Just quickly tell how did you start in Airsoft, and I feel like we can just cut it there.
So I started in Airsoft because he got into Airsoft. Really?
Yeah,
like,
literally.
The moment that he was talking about, hey, like, I've been wanting to be in Airsoft. I'm so interested. I love the sport. I love everything about it. And like when Joshua and I came together and be like, hey, like, let's get this rifle for this guy. We saw his face. Like, when I saw him reacting to the sheer surprise in his eyes was like, he was overwhelmed.
Because literally the way that he gave me the money was because I was like, hey, if you want to give me some money for an Airsoft, but I was joking. Like the same way, like, hey, if you want to like slide me a 20, and then he was like, give me a good reason as to why I would. I thought that it was a game, and I was like, bet. So I made like this overcomplicated explanation as to why I wanted it.
The origins of his fascination.
And he was like, word, you deserve that. And he just gave me half of the money, and then Caleb paid for the rest.
And eventually, when he started like venturing into this, I'm like, okay, I want in, and I want a shotgun. Like, that's the first thought I had. I was like, I gotta have a shotgun, because I've always played with shotguns in video games, and I know that doesn't really have to correlate to anything, but I just have always loved that archetype of a weapon. And when I found out, I was like, hey, you can use shotguns in Airsoft. I'm like, ooh, let's go. So I got myself a shotgun with his help and his recommendations, and we got into it, and now we're here.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun ever since. So just read the last couple ones before I go. Asian Hive. Gabriel, do you have merch? I do. I will be having merch soon. I will be putting in stickers, pins, necklaces, stuff like that. You guys will see. But I'll just be adding it in the near future. But as of right now, I do have dog tags, like custom dog tags available, and some rifle tags, which are really cool. No, they're not right here at the moment, but I can share them in the Discord server. So I do have those available at the moment, but I will be uploading some stuff real soon. So stay vigilant in the Discord. You should be seeing it.
Stay sharp.
And you caught up. Congrats. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. It was hard. Hi, I'm a new viewer. Welcome. Congratulations for finding. I don't know
Welcome.
how. I don't know how you found this live stream being a new viewer, considering that I'm still small, but I'm glad you did. Welcome to Main Cane. Congrats on catching up. Yeah, here's a medal. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm looking into the Mass Marauder and the EMG Overthrow. I've heard good things about the Marauder and bad things about the EMG. In your review, your gun, you said it's good. What should I get? I don't really know anything about the Mass Marauder. All I can say is that my EMG, it's good. Needed a little bit work to be better.
It got tweaked.
Yeah, it got tweaked. It's pretty proprietary. It's not the best, but it can be worked to be really, really, really good. So take that as you will. It is a good platform. It just needs a little bit more love. So let's go on. And for earlier questions for the guns I brought, which is better for Speedsoft game style? Again, either or kind of works in that position.
Yeah.
So, all right. This was fun. Honestly, I didn't think that we would get such an active conversation. Yeah, I thought that we were going to go through our story and then maybe get a couple of questions.
Like we're gonna sit here and read Lord of the Rings with you.
Exactly, and like, but no, we got a ton of people just coming in, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. That's why we took so long, because I wanted to go like one by one and actually like pay attention to what you guys had to say, because I don't just want to brush over and ignore it. You guys are as important to this channel as we are. So I just want to give a huge thank you, and I want to give a thank you to Caleb also for being a part of this, which again, we're both living together at the moment, which is why we don't have masks and we're like up close. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do things like this more often, and maybe in the future then I can kind of maybe do some Twitch streams where we're gaming or something, and kind of just like keep this flowing, because I love the dynamic of dealing with you people. So I'm gonna leave it there.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
And in the wise words of our friend Cheesy Bread, we appreciate your appreciation for us.
Exactly.
And we also appreciate you back.
We appreciate everybody equally. So again, anybody that hasn't gotten into my Discord, it's going to be linked in the description of all of my other videos. So literally just go into the link tree and you'll see all of my social medias. Anything that I didn't answer or you want to kind of go deeper into, get into the Discord. We'll all have a good chat about it and we'll have a good time. I'm going to leave it there. That is all for today. So everybody have a nice day.
Stay sharp.
Bye. All right, let's